It's another fantastic morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. Very important show today because we're coming to the end of the year, the calendar year. And I'm going to show you how to start some things that are going to be important for you. But first, coffee. Yeah, the Mexican Chiapas. Hot, earthy, good. A couple important things real quick. The show must go on. Your girlfriend or boyfriend will break up with you, but the show must go on. You may lose your job, but the show must go on. You might drop out of college. The show must go on. You get into a car accident, total the only car that you have, the show must go on. You need to say that to yourself. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off after an accident, after a tragedy, after bullshit happens, and say to yourself, actually don't say to yourself, speak out loud, the show must go on. You stand up straighter, taller, shoulders broader, chest out, stomach in. The show must go on. There's going to be many times in your life when you think things are over with, but the show must go on. Let's talk about the origin of that phrase, and then we'll get into our normal format. The show must go on. It's a phrase in show business, meaning that regardless of what happens, whatever show has been planned and still has to be staged for the waiting patrons, there's no evidence to suggest that it is the abbreviation of a longer phrase. The saying and principle are traditional in the theater. Its origins are in the theater. But they both originated in the 19th century with circuses. I knew that, the circuses. If an animal got loose or a performer was injured, the ringmaster and the band tried to keep things going so the crowd would not panic, because it is a point of honor not to let the other players down by deserting them when no understudy is available. Later on, the phrase was more broadly applied to the hotel business and show business in general. Eventually, the phrase was used to convey the idea that an event or activity must continue if there's problems or difficulties with or without regard to actual show business. So shit's going to happen in your life, and it will. But the show must go on. Say it out loud. Practice it. Say it right now. Say it with me. The show must go on. That's going to be important for you as we approach 2019. Because, 2019 is the year that you get unstuck. And I said in my hike video yesterday that one of the things that you need to do to get unstuck is to put your foot down against time wasters. People that will use you, people that don't understand your goals. Put your foot down and be able to say no. You need sometimes to be able to say no to others before you can say yes to yourself. This is no motivational BS. This is a fact if you want to get things done and prosper and live a most excellent life. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. In 2019, you get unstuck, or you getting unstuck will be about eliminating time wasters, heartbreakers, and rule abiders. Value your time, guard your heart, and break the rules that you made for yourself. It's gonna resonate with some of you. There's people that waste your time. As far as guarding your heart, you've given your heart to people who haven't been good to it and aren't good for it. Guard it. There's a scripture that says, guard your heart, for it's the wellspring of life. It's a spring where fresh water comes out, freshness comes out. When that heart is not guarded, and by heart, more like emotions, then it gets polluted. You want to keep the purity of that spring going. With some people, you just have to close the door. Others, you just let them in for an agreed upon finite period of time, and then you escort them to the door. "2019 is the year of AF2. People like saying AF. I guess that's very popular now, which just means someone might say excited AF, like excited as. I even did that for a while. I'm over it. I'm over the AF thing. 20 years ago, I came up with a program called AF2, which stands for Action, Focus, and Fortitude. Action. Doing is greater than talking. Focus. Laser focus. That means before noon, every movement needs to be in the direction of whatever your goal is. Every direction. Every phone call, every email, everything. Nothing takes you off track. Nothing. Even if you just make it till noon and then just go back to your regularly scheduled, screwed up, discombobulated life. Even if you just say to yourself, before noon, I'm staying focused. Or pick a time. If you're not a very disciplined person, which at one point in my life I was not, but I developed it and became prosperous, successful, happy, zero issues, zero problems, zero worries, except extraneous things that happen. And then, because I am the stable stoic, I know how to deal with things. I respond and I don't react. And you can learn how to do that too. Fortitude. You don't wait for the guts to do it. You get the guts by doing it. That's how it works. In 2019, you will realize kicking the wrong stuff out of your life is as important as letting the right stuff in your life. 2019 is the year you put your foot down. It's the year that you start saying no to as many things as you start saying yes to many things. If you are seeing somebody who has a spouse or a significant other, you're always going to have a sense of emptiness or not a connection with them. The reason is this: they belong to somebody else, and they are spinning plates with you. You are a plate being spun. You are a part-time lover. You might say, well, that's what I'm doing. You can't get near fire and not be burned. Nobody is immune to that. They belong to somebody else. They are not your girl or your guy. You are no more than an in and out convenience store to them. Convenient. The next time someone tells you not to bite off more than you can chew, tell them, I'd rather choke on greatness than nibble on mediocrity. Unplug, my friends, from the matrix. Unplug from the dating matrix. This is where happiness begins. Unplug from the matrix, or the way that the world is doing things. Get away from it. Dating, doing business, getting your body into shape, nutrition, everything that you were taught about almost everything in life unless you had woke parents and your friends are extremely high. Like, for instance, if you have friends that are enlightened and high on life, then that can rub off on you. But the reality is, everything that you've been taught about the way you eat is wrong. Everything you've been taught about love and dating and relationships is wrong. Keep that in mind. That will resonate with some of you. Live and I said pick one. Which one is more important? Live and let live, or live and learn? 15% said live and let live. 85% said live and learn. And then the last thing for the day, and this is a repeat. Sometimes things need to be repeated. A massive red flag in a relationship is how much TV the other person watches. And I know you heard this, and you need to hear it again. How much TV the other person watches. Like one of my followers has said, there's a reason why they call it TV programming. It's programming you. A massive red flag in relationships is how much TV the other person watches, what they watch, and how defensive they are about their shows, I need my shows. Be warned about people who watch the news stations too much. I don't care what news it is. Even as a conservative, which I am, more of a libertarian, liberty-loving conservative, I don't want anyone telling me what to do in my bedroom or with my wallet, period. And I don't care what you do. I can't handle women who watch conservative stations all the time. Like a lot of conservative guys will say, I love Fox News. It's no different than any other news station. No different. And for those of you who are more liberal-minded, who think Fox is evil, and all, believe me, it's all the same. You've fallen into the trap, into the matrix yourself. All the stations are nothing but talking heads yelling over each other. The reason why I say avoid people like that is because that's how they will communicate with you when there's a disagreement or an issue. Doesn't matter what your liberal or conservative stance is. If that's what you hear as a communication style all the time, that's what you will do. Anyone who watches so-called reality shows is going to be trouble. Trouble. It's not, well, they're just fun to watch, or it's my guilty pleasure. It's not. What they're drawn to is the drama, the contrived drama. They need that drama like I need my coffee. They're attracted to it. If they don't get their fix of drama, they will create it in their own life. These people are trouble, and you will learn to walk on eggshells around them. No walking on eggshells in 2019. You will not argue with people in 2019. Men, you will not argue with a woman in 2019. Ladies, no arguing. No arguing. No walking on eggshells. We're done walking on eggshells, aren't we? This goes for men and women. Seek out people who travel, read, cook, hike, can enjoy silence and solitude on occasion, and don't fill their precious lives with contrived garbage. Now, I talked about solitude by choice, solitude on occasion. Loners are not good people to get into relationships with because they make hard rules for themselves. Two loners getting together, that might work because you come together. It's true relationship fasting. Come together for a period of time, be apart for a period of time. Like Khalil Gibran says, let there be spaces in your togetherness. Solitude by choice is good for both people. I don't believe in extrovert, introvert anymore. I'm firmly against that you are one or the other. I believe most people are fairly fluid and have the ability to go either way. I spent yesterday, Christmas Day, by myself. Now I'll see my family this week. Christmas Day, and I learned that after I was divorced. It was either learn how to be by yourself or just suffer. Self-imposed suffering. Enough of the self-imposed suffering. Enough of that. You won't do that in 2019 if I have anything to do with it. And then I have a party to go to where I can be the life of the party and have a great time with people and enjoy people. Someone said to me once, like where I'm looking at living right now is quiet. You don't even hear traffic. You hear nature. That's an area that I'm looking at right now. Someone said, why do you want to live there? There's nothing going on. There's nothing happening there. I think the word they used, it was lame. This is why. This is exactly why I want to live there, because there's nothing going on there. If I want action, I go to where the action is. I don't want to live amongst the action. When I'm done with having fun and partying, I go back to peacefulness and quiet with no electronics. This is what I guarantee. Most people have living rooms. Everyone's got a living room, right? Most people I know. And what are all the chairs and sofa turned towards in the living room? A television. For television programming. It's built into our even construction of houses, a living room where all the chairs are turned towards a TV. You know what the chairs are turned towards in my home? A library, bookshelves. The TV is not the center of activity. If I want to watch a movie on Netflix or Amazon Prime, I watch the movie. And then what do? I turn it off. I haven't gotten hooked on a series in a while. I used to like The Sopranos, Brotherhood, Dexter, The Wire, Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy. But it wasn't a whole night of watching something or the TV always on. I watched what I wanted to watch and then it was off. It wasn't my show. It didn't matter if I watched it or not. It was something I enjoyed, but not something I needed. I didn't need my fix because I learned to live without being programmed. I don't need to be trained by other people like a dog to sit up, to give me paw, to get a treat. I don't need that, neither do you. 2019 is the year that you break free. If you break free from the programming, you can achieve everything on your to-do list. And with that, I'm going to say have a great day. Finish your coffee. I'm talking with a couple people for morning sponsorship. Coffee companies, and we'll see how that works out. I encourage you, if you are a coffee company or know of a coffee company that may be interested, you've got about a week till about like a little after the first of the year to get with me and communicate with me about what you want to do with sponsorship, because it's going to go, and it's going to go fast. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning on the Daybreak Show. and get yourself to the gym today. I don't care if you got to do just one chin-up with assistance. Get yourself there. One thing I know to be true is no matter how I feel, I always feel better when I leave the gym. See you tomorrow.